Hello, everybody, and today I'm here to review Aztec Batman Clash of Empires. Ever since the DC animated movies came to a close with Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, DC is now being rebooted to the DCU with James Gunn, and I don't know what the future holds for DC animation. Of course, they're still going to do it, since, DC is important for animation, but they decided to do an elseworld story where we do not get Bruce Wayne at all. There's no Selina Kyle, there's no Joker, Harvey Dent. There's just people similar to those characters, that being the world of Aztec Batman. The concept of Aztec Batman, I've never really thought about, since Aztec I learned about in all the way back in 5th grade, but I don't know, that's something you probably learn in college. But to see an Aztec version of Batman looks super cool, honestly. I love the cape, the mask. It just looks very different from the usual Batman stories we do get. But it was hard to pinpoint what goes on in this movie, since I'm not really too familiar with the Aztec culture, but it was actually really cool to see what these characters would look like in Aztec style. But of course, we got the story where I did not get to rewatch this movie, but this movie basically takes place thousands of years, and honestly, I thought it was like the origin of how Gotham was found, but it turns out there's no Gotham at all. When I looked it up, there's just no Gotham. It all takes place in a completely different environment. There's just a lot of fighting going on in this movie, where Batman is said to be like the sort of chosen one. I'm pretty sure that's what I remember. It kind of reminds me of Batman the Doom That Came to Gotham, which is another great Batman story, Elseworld, where Batman has to harness and become the demon bat that will destroy Gotham so Gotham can be rebuilt. But it kind of reminds me of that, where this Batman basically, during the fight with this version of Two-Face, where they get into a sword fight later in the movie, where Batman gets killed, but he gets resurrected at the end of the movie, where I guess he becomes the literal bat itself. But there's just a lot of parallels that they were trying to do with their own version for this world's Batman. But there's just a lot to talk about with Aztec Batman. I don't know if it is based off a comic, but it was kind of sad that this was the only DC animated movie that came out. I think there was something else that came out that was like Batman Ninja, which I'm excited to talk about. But they are doing Batman Nightfall, which I'm really excited for. So it's not like DC animation is at a total stop. They're still adapting story after story that will finally be put in animation. It's nice that Nightfall is finally getting its own movie. We still don't know anything about it, but other than it's going to have 3 parts. But I really hope they adapt that comic really well. But I might as well talk about the other designs of the characters in this movie. The lookalike of Two-Face, he looks really cool. I think he's like the knight, the prince who's trying to save the Aztec land. That's what I think his character is. And of course, he gets his face scarred, just like Two-Face, and he wears a silver plate as to cover his scar face. But we do also see a man become the Joker, but we see the white face makeup, red lipstick, sort of. I think it'd be blood. But this version of Joker definitely looked insane, for sure. I think we also see an Aztec version of Catwoman, who teams up with Batman throughout this whole movie. But honestly, I was thinking this movie was going to be the ancestors of the Waynes, but nah, like I said, there's just no like parallels to the world of Batman. It's just kind of like its own thing, a different person putting on the Batman mantle. But at the end credits scene, we do get Penguin, who's wearing like a plague doctor mask. So back in the day, when we had the Black Plague, that goes back all the way back in history, which I learned about in 7th grade. But I guess I paid attention in school just a little bit. But it's basically where people put like these creepy looking masks that's called the Plague Doctor. But I guess they wanted to do that version of Penguin in their end credits scene. But I probably give this movie probably just a 7 out of 10. I didn't really think much of it, but it was, other than it was definitely an underrated Elseworld story for sure. It was hard to keep up with any of the characters' names because it was from ancient times, so names were different back then. But it was cool to learn a little something about more about the Aztec history for sure. But I don't know what the next movie review is. Sorry if this review was short, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing Batman Ninja 2. So be on the lookout for that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.